Hello, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. This time, trial time. So let's jump into it. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Okay, that's not why we're doing this, though. Under no circumstances did we discuss that as a reason for doing this. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but... for the person in the dock, it may well be his or his one and only time in court. And that could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little... crass. Oh, wow. When you put it like that, you're quite right. Well, it's not like we have, like... We should probably take notes every once in a while, at least. Susato, that's your job. Take notes. Good morning. Oh, hello. Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Oh, dear. Are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The only blood gouge is the one, as they say in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early. I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. Now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm to tremble. Really? Because I can feel the tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take this. Hello. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. Looked like the opening night of an opera. Oh, so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Is it because of Sholmes being involved or the Reaper being involved? Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea as well. So that all-knowing look on your face is just confidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me, it's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Mrs. Zato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and... yes. Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Well, I mean, it was just a couple days ago that he literally showed up in court again, and the guy fucking died after he lost. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Trial 2 days ago marked. Lord Van Zeeks returned to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Oh, what a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was assuming, like, we didn't notice it because, like, he did it unexpectedly or something like that. Like, like he just showed up in court and everyone's like, wait, what? He's here? And then the next day, the news spread. Because this is before the internet age and all that sort of fun stuff, right? Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the questions the papers are asking. and they're all speculating various answers. Also, it's not a murder.
Mundane? Mundane. Oh, it is the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Oh, really? Yes, I agree. Sorry, I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, nope, not getting it. Oh, you? Oh. Oh, me! Oh, me! Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I guess.
Logan, student. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you.
Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
Both times. It is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor.
But that has more to do with no one else taking the cases until I'm willing to. It's not like the Reaper comes in to face me or anything like that.
That's your friends with the Reaper!
Oh, please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Good job saying in front of the client, too.
Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune?
You chose me. You literally wanted me explicitly.
By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true. I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skill. Or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter ends. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Oh. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires.
Is the non-locum... is that like a word?
I'm in your debt forever. I shall never forget...
You shall never what now? I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. It is time. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go.
Yes!
I feel like I should, like...
off my chest up just like he does whenever I do that.
This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Okay. Is it the same judge? I assume it would be the same judge. They don't typically switch them out.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels of the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The Nipponese are truly a fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Oh, do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
Yeah, forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is appropriate description. Sato-san, yeah, he's being definitely the sort of guy we'll definitely be friends with at some point, definitely, 100%. He's definitely gonna have that Edgeworth redemption arc, right? After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Very true. And a most fascinating dark trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent ends.
That does feel like he's trying to rub it in.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
Oh, fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck.
You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
Oh, I fucking... Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. That isn't the Mad Hatter, is it? No. They wouldn't change his, like, design. Like, he wouldn't be, like, in hiding or something. Impartial members of the jury, my ass!
I'm afraid to say it's quite possible that Mustache Fauna did the deed.
Ah, come on now, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry. Didn't quite catch that.
I'm gonna rely on juror number 6, I think.
Very well. Let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please. Lord Van Zeus. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land. A certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who's doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I'll tell you from a bitter experience, those are the worst bloody oath they are.
Just look at the shallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Ah, come on now. With me now, you're on 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that. In terms of the voices, I'm legitimately just doing whatever feels like comes to mind correctly.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber.
How expensive does it have to be to replace those? He did it once last time. I sort of want to start a count of how many of those he breaks.
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Will you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
Yeah, I was looking back at like the video a little bit and I was wondering like, the victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yes. Having been stabbed in the back by our attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. Would a knife attack really cause someone to be comatose like that? Like, are you saying it's... I mean, anything could happen if you get injured internally, right, I guess. But at the same time, that seems like a very notable detail. What? So they don't even know for sure who she is?
Comatose. I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Ray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Is that? If I could ask everyone to look at this street map. Okay. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since it stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we're unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything you know about the victim so far. Okay, thank you. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Okay. So, time to take a good long look at this. Female, stout build, early 20s, pavement, Bright Road, East Side. I mean, the fact that they don't know who she is for sure feels like that's going to be a key fact. Roly beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Personal effects. So, okay. They probably don't have a database or anything like that. Our physical sample from the large amount. There's no other signs of injury observed. Where was the large knife stab? What? Is there anything specific about the stab wound that would inherently make her go comatose? The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and successfully arrested the following day. Okay. Got it. So that is that Rolly beat that was mentioned. Okay. I was hoping this would, like, mention where that secondhand shop was. Because if you're gonna say that he came this way and stabbed her in the back, I think even his account had him walking up from behind her. Oh no, probably not a path worth going. What of the weapon that was used? Is that? I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch! That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scraggly-looking Sasaki-san, I suppose. A common or Gordon jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Jackknife. Okay, I'm not familiar with what a jackknife is. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. A large but commonplace folding knife. I guess that's probably what jackknife means. So I'm lodged in the victim's back. Okay. It's fun because we got so little actual evidence. Like, normally when we go through, like, the investigation beforehand, we get, like, evidence related to, like, the crime and stuff like that. But we haven't, like, had almost any of that in this game so far, have we? Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from the visiting second-hand bookshop, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
If theft and grievance are to be ruled out as motive, what reason could Mr. Natsumi possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
I forgive the discordancy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Wait, so that went like to oh, fuck. Someone just got very injured. I think that's going to be a court case soon. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who's being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Actually, that should never be beyond question. Fucking people make mistakes all the time. People who jump to conclusions all the time. You don't give a sense of authority to that and just leave it unquestioned. That's part of the problem with any of the policing system, well, probably every policing system in the world, right? You can assume, you tend to take the words of them way higher than other people, and they tend not to be questioned unless you can absolutely prove them wrong, right? Okay. And which I feel as though, considering the witness is an actual police officer, is going to be a very interesting thing. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's an old man, isn't he?
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. There was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him.
Oh, should I press on that one?
Own books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Ooh, color. So we can say with some semblance of confidence based on the other picture that was provided of the victim that it is it isn't like she's wearing a bunch of coats. That is indeed just her body shape. Not unusual given what we've seen from other characters in the game so far, but still.
Yes, I can clearly see the books as to which you are referring.
I will take that photographic print as evidence, Police Inspector.
The old Nipponese are a spineless breed. Oh my fucking god. Too cowardly to admit defeat.
Oh my fucking goodness. Oh my fucking goodness. This fucking guy.
Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Oh yeah, just like last time?
Well,
Hey, Lord Van Seeks, remember... Forgive me, Lord Van Seeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mrs. Zato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsumi admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us what had happened. Yeah. Well, why is the green overcoat gonna matter? Oh, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing. Oh, no, I mean... Oh my, a photographic print in full color? What will the world come up with next? I was gonna say, The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of a heinous crime of stabbing a woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. I mean, he is not aware of anyone else being there. That doesn't mean there's anyone else there. He wasn't aware of the alleged witnesses either. That means he could have been unaware of someone else being in the vicinity. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. I like that the judge is also, like, actually not jumping to conclusions. The judge is actually, like, I feel pretty good at what he does in this one. Normally, they make the judges in these sort of like, oh, I'm, like, easily swayed by all this stuff and all that fun stuff. But they are able to, like, pass that part, the swaying of opinions, onto the jury and how they wrote it. So the judge actually comes across competent for once. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Okay. Back into it. Been a while. Even feels like it's been a while.
Hold it!
How are you able to state that with any certainty? That there wasn't anyone else? Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to the crime have told us. Wouldn't that immediately mean there's someone else in the area? Yes, Inspector Gretson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right, one of them is the policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. Oh yeah, so he definitely can't ever be not trusted in any form whatsoever. He definitely would 100% never possibly do anything illegal. Yeah. That is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But, wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I am unaware of the situation of your tiny island to the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas street lamps. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light to which by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Makes sense, I imagine. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hold it!
Okay. Here's when I really press and try to take him off his game by bringing up Sholmes. You asked for the help of the famous detective Herlock Sholmes to locate the defendant, I believe. Stuff and nonsense. Sorry? Jack in office. That busybody just comes and sticks his oar whether we ask him to or not. But according to what I have here, Mr. Sholmes was shown to the scene by Scotland Yard detectives. Well, that has nothing to do with me. The lads at the scene must have done it, without my permission. Down time and time again. Whenever something happens, send word to headquarters. And follow your bloomin' instructions. I see. Heard that Medlock gets his hands on any details we'll be all reading in the Ryan's magazine next month. You can bet your last fathering that I'll be in that too, stripped of all my hard work on the case. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. No, Mr. Sholmes. Aren't you clever, Mr. Sholmes? That's all the things I'll be getting. Inspector, if the man is proving detrimental to the yard's activities, perhaps I should step in and deal with him. He can't admit that he's actually a downside. It appears Inspector Gregson is at a loss for words. Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously. Oh, was that Oh, no, sorry. The Reaper's words carry a lot of weight. There's Reno's here.
Anyway, the point is the little Japanese bloke's already admitted it.
He's admitted that the books all over the pavement at the scene were the ones he bought that day. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid that Mr. Natsumi's fate will be sealed. Yes, I'm sure they'll find him guilty. So, one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony. Okay, I was hoping he'd reveal something a little bit more, but... yeah, probably this. On his way back from the bookshop. Like I said before, I was hoping that the map would actually have where the bookshop was on it, but... The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
Yeah, the bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must.
I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Okay, cool. There it is. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here. Bourbon Books. A little place in the corner of Bry Road in Meerschaum Street. Lodgings. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken to get home. Okay. Something like that. Okay. What do I do with that? That's obviously good information to have, but oh, thank you for your information. The defendant was certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular bookshop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. I mean, yes, I agree. The most important point is that the inspector just made being... Let me think about this. The closest, you said. Okay. They have mentioned multiple times that there's one right around there. Bourbon Books. No, don't we actually have... Yes, we do. Salmon. Your books. Okay. Okay, there it is. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe. Oh, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. Very well, now that I can see it being of any great significance, please provide your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? I don't know what that word means. He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, second-hand bookshop he apparently patronizes. So...
Objection!
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. Oh, what is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. I mean, You're literally in court. This is should be your main attention. This is a receipt we found in Mr. Natsumi's room. It was, issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not whether the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt is issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your Books?
Y-O-R-E, I presume. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsumi did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Wait, what? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir.
Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that.
Well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
But the fact is that the bookshop which the defendant visited, but that is the bookshop in which. This is a really good objection. Sorry, I am a very good trained lawyer, and I'm very good at my words. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on that day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference does it make?
Wherever the man purchased the musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, it would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookstop, Your Books, it very well may turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
Oh, my. It depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. No, is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. We just need to know where the actual other bookshop is. It's not gonna make a difference in the end.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Mersham Street going east.
Ooh. Okay. Those two things are going to cannibalize each other's markets, but there's definitely multiple routes that could have been taken. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh,
My learned and Ebony's friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. Your future career in the circus.
God, I don't want to be in a fucking Ace Attorney circus. Those things are hell. You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you. Okay, this is out of sun. Don't. And you don't need to fight him. I think you might win if you fought him, but you don't need to fight him. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of the Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat slow, Ebony's friend who can never seem to say the right words when they are on the screen in front of him. Okay, that's at least 3. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Oh well. I'm sorry, Sasaki. I guess I'm gonna die. Oh, just as I suspected. You can't fool me, and don't suggest you try. What did I say? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon. Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating? Oh my goodness, is it really gonna come? I feel like this actually might come down to him not being able to hear shit. Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsumi is guilty. She's absolutely right. We need to introduce reasonable doubt of him going the other way? We must think. We must consider the assertion put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. The claim Sasaki-san must pass the location of the incident on the way home from Your Books is... I mean, when do we ever not raise an objection? It's super rare that we don't. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from Your Books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Oh, talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route, which is commonly referred to as the long way round. Not that much. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Because he's been there for a week and he's not necessarily like used to choosing the most efficient route, even if he was specifically going out of his way to do that. Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
But, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsumi which route he took. I've already informed the courts of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. Isn't that more reason to think he could have not taken the... This day was no exception. Says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe it! I mean, this is just more reason to believe. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Ray, what say you, insightful jurors? Wait. But even if that is the case, the defense still... I agree with Lord Venzies, wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean? We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Wait, okay. If this is a bad end, then this is a really elaborate bad end. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Wait. Oh, this is faster than... Oh. I mean, I didn't get it in the last time, but is it, like, possible for me to just, like, make the wrong choice and legitimately just get all the fucking jury members on? Or is the fact that it's even progressing means I still made the right choice, technically?
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous.
Shit.
To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr. Naruhodo? No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Koi, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into the antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination.
Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar. I knew that would fucking come back.
I'm all too familiar with that Nibonese whippersnapper and his bogus refusal to throw in his alley.
I don't think I'm gonna convince him.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Will you each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty?
For pity's sake, the little Nibonese oddity already admitted to it himself, didn't he?
He said the woman in green collapsed before his eyes. Why, it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. No, not in winter. Ooh, so the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? Oh, how dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Okay, that doesn't seem like the best juror.
Your books. Yes, nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
I agree. I don't see any obvious contradictions.
Shit. Okay. The only minor exceptions, the reason for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, only two people at the scene were a victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. I mean, it does feel like maybe this was a setup, right? One thing happened in one place and then someone like faked it in. I know I said this on the last one too, where you just have two things happen in two different locations and one of them's faked in order to create witnesses or to fabricate a situation for the accused to be, you know. Is admitted to seeing the victim in a green overcoat.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear. Even the judge appears to be convinced of Mr. Natsumi's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? How are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their mind. Well, four of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, no word. Okay, I didn't see any obvious contradictions, so let's got a trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Rinosuke, you can do it.